Hi, Bite here. Today we're going to talk about upgrading my Monoprice Maker Select 3P printer. You can see it sitting right behind me. I originally bought this printer a couple of years ago, and it's been a great workhorse. It's also a tinker's delight. I've done a lot of mechanical mods to it, a lot of electrical mods to it over the years, and in the last year or so especially, the issue that I've had the most trouble with was controlling the temperature of the hot end. I've had there are several different mods out there in the forums and at Wiki Printer, and also Wanhao Google groups where you can get information about doing some of these mods. If you're having issues with yours, hopefully you'll have better luck than I did. I went to a lot of work to try to get that to be more consistent because the fluctuations were pretty good. It fluctuated at least plus and minus 20 degrees Celsius, and that for printing with a 3D printer for some of the filament does not work well. So I had replaced the heater cartridge, the thermistor, wiring all the way back, lots of things worked on. Did the electrical upgrades to the mods to the Melzi control board, which is the board that comes from the factory with this printer, and it got better, but it didn't come there all the way. It was not completely stable consistently the way I needed it to be to print the practical things that I like to print with this printer. So I decided I was going to upgrade it one way or another, and in the process of researching on the internet which way I was going to go with this, whether I was going to replace the Melzi board, do an 8-bit board replacement like with a 1.4 version of Ramp's board, or a 32-bit version of a board, control board, such as the Rad's board or Clone Mini. Midwest Rip Rap Festival came up. I went there, and at that festival I met a lot of great people that are 3D printing gurus on YouTube. Just to name a few, Chuck Hallebuck from Shep 3D Printing was there, Joel Telling from the 3D Printing Nerd, and Barnacle Nerdgasm, Jerry Bird, and also E3D. There was a large number. Jetman was there. There was a large number of people there that really are experts at 3D printing, and spent some time talking and discussing things over with them. Came to the conclusion that yeah, I probably did need to upgrade the board, the control board in there. Met a gentleman there at their Midwest Rip Rap Festival that has his own company called Cohesion3D. His name is Ray Holodowski. He produces a C3D Mini control board. It's based on the pin-for-pin configuration with the Smoothieware board, and runs Smoothieware. After looking it over and his conversion that he did to his Wanhao Duplicator 3D, I decided that that was the way I wanted to go. So I purchased that kit. He has a conversion kit that he kind of put together for this for $105, and went ahead and stayed in contact with him, and he asked for some information, some pictures, which I'll be showing you here right now. This is a picture of my printer before it was disassembled, and then the following pictures are from inside the printer control box, so that Ray could see how the Melzi board was wired, and if there are any differences between what he's seen now and on his and what's on mine. configuration files. I'll be showing you those.
Here are two screenshots of the Melzi configuration prior to upgrade.
Disassembly of the printer. I'll be showing you those.
Here's the disassembly of the control box and laying out the wires so that I can see if everything is going to fit in the upgrade.
When I received all the pieces from him and other parts that I ordered from Amazon, and like a new display module, I needed a new GLC display module, smart controller, for this to use with this board, and some extension cables and an Ethernet module. Once I got all those in, and I began the assembly, which I will show you right now.
This is a time lapse of assembling the A4988 stepper driver boards onto the C3D Mini card. This part of the time lapse shows assembling the original power wires and the additional new power wires which go to the hot end and bed MOSFETs on the C3D Mini card, and then laying out the rest of the wiring accordingly. This part of the time lapse is attaching the heated bed and hot end wiring to the C3D Mini card. Also preparing the connector for the part cooling fan and for the extruder motor. This part of the time lapse is preparing and attaching the 3 end stop switches to the C3D Mini card, and then also the bed temperature thermistor wiring and the hot end thermistor wiring. This next segment of the time lapse is doing final voltage checks and then running motion control and running the hot end up to temperature and testing the extruder. This segment shows the auto-tune PID process for the hot end. This segment shows the final voltage reference checks for the A4988 stepper drivers to set the current levels. This segment shows tidying up all the wires, zip tying things into place, preparing the flat cables so that they'll fold up properly, and getting everything ready to close up the case one last time.
Everything went smoothly. There were a few tweaks and you know a couple little bumps along the way, but all in all, the process went very smooth. Ray is an exceptional individual at helping you through the process of converting the printer. His customer service is fantastic. I did not have any issues at all working through this. The board, as you can see, it's printed numerous items. Since then, I've had it running for about 2 weeks now. It is running smoothly, accurately, producing prints. The temperature control is fantastic. The communications is rock solid. I can run it with Octoprint, which is my preferred method of operating it. I've been able to just enjoy the printer to no end at this point. Going forward, I've got a couple things that I have to configure. I need to configure a kill button or stop button, emergency stop button on here. It does have that ability to do that. It's just I don't have it turned on at this time. I am going to continue to experiment with other filaments, and finally I'm going to install the Ethernet module that I purchased on the extension cable and get that configured so that I can control the printer from multiple different options. I'm really enjoying this. So I highly recommend the C3D Mini control board from Cohesion3D. I don't have any ties with them. Strictly, this is me enjoying the board, loving what it's done for my printer, and the process to go through and do the upgrade was very good. So kudos to Ray and Cohesion3D. Thanks for watching.